One of the great things about living in Nevada County is we are at a minor cultural musical crossroads here that often has some great talent pass through town, and of course we also have some great talent that lives in town. And one of the neat things about the talent from around here is they are a very giving group of people, and they are very willing to pass on the tradition of traditional music. And today we're here at Pioneer Park, Ceilidh in the park, with Alisdair Fraser and his friends passing on traditional music to a whole new class of young musicians. They've been working hard for 8 days up on North San Juan at a ranch up there, all-inclusive immersion music camp, and tonight they all get cleaned up, come to town, and put on a performance for everybody here in town. Check it out. Juan Brown with the Grass Valley Union. Look who I found, Alisdair Fraser himself. This is your party tonight, right?
It sure is. I mean, Pioneer Park, you know, it's like the living room of the town for me.
So
it's
you,
just a hub.
So you got all dressed up, cleaned up, came into town after what, a week of camp, right? That's what you're up to?
Since last Saturday night. Man, we have journeyed, we've partied, we've had soulful moments, we've had crazy dances, you know, the whole bit. I love it. I love it. There's so much humanity here, and I hope you can see that when you hear the music and see the joyous faces.
And the whole idea with traditional music is that it's passed on via tradition. It's not written. It's not even memorized. You said it was.
Well, it's more than memorizing. You actually find yourself knowing it.
You got to know it.
Kind of like you know a language. You know, you go for fluency, and you hang out with people that have fluency, and then you find yourself doing it. So it's immersion. There's nothing like immersion. It works.
And it's for this camp is like 8 days of immersion, right?
Immersion, total immersion. Yeah. And it's kids all the way through to grandparents and everything, you know, everyone. From all over the country, and even from Galicia, we get some people here in Canada and whatnot. So.
And a life-changing experience for a lot of them, right?
It is. There'll be a few tears tonight as people leave, you know, because great friendships are made. And it feels privileged to do it.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Alisdair.
Yeah,
thanks for passing on the tradition. Traditional music. Is this your first year at Alisdair's camp?
Not really. Well, no. We've been to the Olympics.
That's really? So you guys are seasoned pros at this then, huh? You're almost ready to start instructing in it? No? What do you like most about the camp experience?
Everybody's just friendly and like welcoming.
Yeah?
No matter what your level.
It's just like the whole thing. It's just amazing.
It's a life-changing experience to some extent?
Yeah.
Would you say? Is that a fair assessment?
A little bit, yeah.
And so, what particular genre are you interested right now in?
So kind of the whole thing, really.
The whole thing, the whole
so this
package?
and classical also. We do both.
So you're classically trained. How about you?
Well, I just switched over from classical to fiddle like 6 months ago, so.
How was that transition for you?
I mean, it was fun, but it's so different, the two styles.
Yeah. So classical, were you reading music constantly? And fiddle, you're
just learning it by ear.
Just learning it by ear.
Mostly, yeah.
And how about the rhythm part? That was a whole driving different.
Yeah.
Did you find it a lot of fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
I bet.
All the chopping and stuff. Yeah.
Good. Well, thanks for playing, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Darol, you're moved back into the area now, or into the area for the first time, right?
Yes, this is the first time I've lived up here, yes.
And of course, Windham Hill fame and all sorts of other things along the way you've done. Yeah. And Bruce, you're teaching now at Berkeley
College of Music, yeah.
So in Boston. So we won't be seeing you moving into the area anytime soon. Because
Well, I mean, yeah, but I've spent a lot of time out here in this area, and I come back anytime I can. It's a beautiful part of the country, and people like this kind of crazy music that we all play, and the community that it breeds. So, yeah, I'll be back.
Excellent, excellent. And I really want to thank you for keeping the traditional music, the old-timey Americana music tradition alive and passing that tradition on.
I was really lucky to meet a lot of people who grew up before World War I and had all those old traditions. And now I have all these wonderful young people here in places like Berkeley and on various places where I teach. And, you know, we're all handing them the ball. So here it is. Open the window, jump on through, you know. And they do a good job of it. Allison DeGroot, who played with me this evening, who plays in the Mountain Drifters, is a perfect example.
She was a former student or a student?
She's a student at Berkeley. She was a student of mine, but she's dug deep into the traditions and learned them to the level of respect and using them for her own creative process. It's amazing to see.
But tell me about this about Berkeley. I don't know anything about Berkeley, a college of music. I suppose you got to be very scholarly about it, but here you come with music that is not even written down. What do they think of that? How was that played?
Yeah. Berkeley was started by working musicians, jazz musicians, who were playing gigs, and that's been the tradition ever since the early '50s when it started. So it's really a hands-on school. It's like a trade school for music. So there's really not that big a step from jazz or functional jazz or pop music or all the different kinds of music that Berkeley is working with, Western classical music included, to the rest of American music, including all the way to tradition.
Darol and I are both lucky enough to teach in a relatively new, 10 years old program called the American Roots Music Program, and it was first kind of conceived by a kind of common hero, a friend of ours named Matt Glazer, who was head of the strings department there for 28 years, but he realized that there was a vacuum in the Berkeley offerings where music of the early 20th century should go. And it's not just old-time music, or bluegrass, but it's early jazz, it's blues, it's ragtime, it's anything that kind of really informed all the pop music that you hear on the radio today, or wherever it is you listen to it, if anybody listens to the radio anymore.
And at this camp, for example, if somebody wants to just dive into what you're doing, old-timey, steeped into it, can they do that at a week of camp? At a week of camp? Well,
Alisdair, his interest goes into a lot of different kinds of music. So you might see old-time music some years. You might see the kind of jazz and bluegrass and crossover kind of music that Darol plays. And you see a whole lot of other stuff. He's had Breton music. He's had
certainly all the Scandinavian
stuff.
People from Spain, all different parts of Spain.
He's had the great Cape Breton fiddler Buddy McMaster back in the day, and just.
And that was right here at this camp in Nevada County, or some of these other various camps?
Well, I'm thinking of the two that I've been involved in. Darol's been at is Valley of the Moon, which is down in Boulder Creek near Santa Cruz, and then this one Sierra here. And of course, Alisdair has a few other camps out there in the
around the world. Excellent. All right, that's Darol Anger and Bruce Molsky, world-class musicians right here at Nevada County. Thanks so much for coming out, guys.
Thank you.
All right, see you here.
All week in the noonday sun, 15 cents when Saturday comes. Going to a dance, a house of fun. Why don't you get away, Lazy John? Lazy John, Lazy John. Why don't you get your day's work all done? You're in the heat and I'm in the sun. Why don't you get away, Lazy John?
And in other breaking news, the restored bathrooms are completed here in Pioneer Park. Looking pretty good.